This week, in Michigan, an athlete named after a Greek philosopher and a gamer decided to try football this year, and he's being rewarded for it. A top Indiana target for Louisville basketball just landed in their lap. And in Ohio, Toledo just got commitments from 2 in-state gritters. That and much more coming up on State Champs Scout Show. Welcome back to the best weekly recruit report in the Midwest. State Champs Scout Show. Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, it's all covered here 40 weeks a year. This program is powered by Lawrence Technological University in Southfield, Michigan. The Blue Devils want you, so much so you can recruit yourself. More on that a little bit later. We've got 2 more weeks before we take our holiday break, and we have a lot to get to. Former Michigan State and professional quarterback Ryan Van Dyke is back with another Recruiting 101 segment as well. Let's begin this week in the Buckeye State.
This is Alan True with your latest look at what's happening in recruiting from the state of Ohio. Toledo has added an important piece to their outstanding 2021 recruiting class with a commitment from Akron-Hoban linebacker Damon Allison. Allison has been a vital figure and a leader at Hoban for their 3 state titles. He burst onto the scene with 97 tackles, 22 of those for loss, and 8 sacks as a sophomore, and continued that kind of production for the next 2 seasons, culminating with another state championship this season. Throughout those years, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and other schools offered, but he stays in state to play for Jason Candle and the Rockets. Toledo also received a commitment from Connor Jones of Hilliard, Darby, a physical 6'2", 230-pound linebacker. He was the conference Defensive Player of the Year as a junior with 95 tackles and 3 interceptions returned for touchdowns. He also spent time as a running back, scoring 13 touchdowns as a junior. He again earned postseason merits as a senior this year. He chooses the Rockets over Ball State, Bowling Green, and Eastern Michigan. Sticking in the MAC, Elijah Hawk of Pickerington North has committed to Western Michigan. The Broncos get a long, lean 6'4", 235-pound edge rusher who had 11 scholarship offers, including many from their MAC foes. Hawk was an all-district selection this year and will once again play on North's basketball team in the winter. Clayton Northmont senior quarterback Cade Rice has committed to South Dakota State. After transferring from Greenon, Rice had a standout year, leading his team to an undefeated record prior to an end-of-season forfeit. Along the way, he passed for 2,128 yards and 30 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. He also rushed for 344 yards and 2 scores. He picks the Jackrabbits over Fordham, Illinois State, Rhode Island, and more. That's it for recruiting news this week. I'm Alan True.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare. I'm Lauren Plant. Here's this week's Michigan's Recruit Report. Coaches love the concept of upside in recruiting, and there may be no bigger illustration of that than Birmingham Brother Rice defensive end Aristotle Taylor. To be sure, Taylor had a very strong senior season for the Warriors, who went 7-1 before bowing out in the D3 District Finals, but that's not entirely what his recent spate of offers is based on. Considering he'd given up the sport for competitive video gaming before his freshman year, then returned for his senior year as team manager before deciding to play just week before the season start, coaches aren't really sure how high the limit goes for a physical specimen who has added 35 pounds of muscle to his 6'8", 235-pound frame over the last 9 months. Sprinkle in more experience and time in the weight room, who knows what they may have on their hands. The offers have reflected that. His first offer came from Lawrence Tech in October, and it's just blown up from there. In the first 6 days of December alone, Taylor picked up scholarship offers from Dartmouth, Illinois State, Georgetown, Columbia, and Air Force, as well as a preferred walk-on spot from Michigan on December 4th. Ruquan Buckley became the first Power 5 commit from Wyoming Godwood Heights when the 6'7", 280-pound two-way lineman picked Nebraska on Sunday. The Cornhuskers won out over the remainder of his top 5, Cincinnati, Florida State, Minnesota, and Michigan State, as well as more than 20 other offers. Prior to Sunday, Buckley was one of just 3 remaining uncommitted players left among the state's top 50 recruits in the 2021 class, leaving just West Bloomfield's Donovan Edwards and Country Day's Saborn Campbell, a Stanford baseball signee unclaimed by a college football program. Kyle Fugetti wasn't uncommitted for long. After decommitting from Miami of Ohio the day after Thanksgiving, the Livonia Franklin offensive tackle found his new home 4 days later, landing at Pitt. The 6'6", 300-pound all-KLAA and all-region lineman joins a 22-member Panthers signing class that already contained 4 offensive linemen, including Detroit Kings' Brandon Honorable and Cass Tech's Terrence Enos, who committed together back in May. Fugetti's Franklin squad went 5-4 this season, falling to rival Churchill in the district finals. If you can play, they'll find you. That's true for William Alexander, the star for Division 8 Sand Creek, who committed to NAIA St. Ambrose University over the weekend. A combination running back / slot back, the 6', 180-pound Alexander rushed for 1,655 yards and 22 touchdowns on 154 carries through 9 games, earning all-region honors from the MHS-FCA and helping the Aggies to an 8-1 record and their first district title since 2007. In his career, he had more than 3,500 rushing yards and more than 50 rushing touchdowns. Ryan Hiker became the second Walled Lake Northern player in 2 weeks to commit to Saginaw Valley, joining teammate Ryan Cornelius on the Cardinals' recruiting list. A 6'1", 165-pound kicking specialist, Hiker was 12 for 12 on PATs as a senior and had a game-long field goal of 47 yards for the Knights, earning all-region honors from the MHS-FCA. Longtime Zeeland West coach John Shillito called Ducks quarterback Carson Goelker the best we ever had, something that gets you noticed. Now, the 6'4", 197-pound Goelker will try to get his talents on a bigger stage, committing to Division II powerhouse Ferris State over the weekend. As a senior, Goelker brought a passing dimension to the Ducks' wing T offense, rushing for 415 yards and 6 scores, and passing for 588 yards with 7 TDs, en route to all-region honors and notice as the Holland Sentinel Offensive Player of the Year. That's it for This Week in Michigan. I'm Lauren Plant. Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices.
This is Ryan Van Dyke with State Champs Network. Today we're going to talk about how to fix a social media mistake. All right? Maybe you're 15, 16 years old, and up until now, you haven't really given a thought to playing sports and furthering your academic career. All right? So what happens to all those Instagram messages from the last 4 years that you've been hanging on to? Whoever's recruiting you is going to dive through all that stuff. Okay? So if you have anything that is potentially damaging to you or your school or your family, anything that's racy or sexist or too out there, those are things that you want to get off your page. So delete those things. You know, we've all made mistakes. If you feel bad about what you've done and you don't think it's the right thing to do, then just delete the post and be done with it. All right? Number 2 is what happens when people start talking about what you've posted. All of a sudden you ranted after a game about, you know, how if coach would have gave you the ball more, maybe things would have turned out different, all right? You woke up the next morning, you felt bad about it, you deleted the post. However, the coach got wind that you were saying this stuff on social media, all right? It's always good to be upfront with it, okay? So I would reach out to the coach and I'd say, hey, here's what I did, and learn from it, and don't do it again. Social media has taken over as like our platform to air our frustrations and whatnot, but in the real world, that can have a damaging effect. And lastly is just learn from the post. You know, like I said, not everything that we do is perfect, and you just gotta press pause. You know, sometimes you just gotta take that 15 minutes and say, hey, you know, do I really feel as strongly about this as possible, or sleep on it and wake up. And sometimes I think the best thing that you'll feel is that you didn't hit submit, or you didn't hit send, or you didn't hit post, right? Take the extra time and think about that before you post it. This is Ryan Van Dyke, State Champs Network.
Checking in from Indiana, this is Scott Bernstein. Tay Davis wants his college basketball career to be a family affair. Warren Central's 6'7" small forward committed to Louisville over the weekend and is set to join his big brother Dre with the Cardinals when he lands on campus in 2022. The Davis brothers will be the first set of siblings to play for the Cardinals since the early 1980s, when the Jones boys, Charles and Kent, suited up for the university. Tay Davis averaged 11 points and 5 rebounds per game last year as a sophomore. He's considered a 4-star recruit and was deciding between Louisville, Indiana, Purdue, Butler, and Xavier. Tay is an explosive slasher and finisher at the rim and runs the floor like a deer. Scouts love his length and instinct in the open court on both sides of the ball. Davis transferred to Warren Central in the summer when his dad DeAndre accepted the head coaching job. Switching gears to the baseball diamond, Heritage Christian sophomore pitcher Andrew Wiggins has committed to Indiana, giving the Hoosiers one of the nation's top draft prospects for the class of 2023. Wiggins is 6'3", athletic, and strong, with a high leg kick and great extension on his follow-through from the mound. Checking in from Indiana, this was Scott Bernstein.
As we prepare for show number 20 of the season, you can catch up on any previous episode by checking them out on the free State Champs Sports app, our website, and on social media. Did you know you can find more recruiting news from the State Champs Scout team by checking out our weekly blogs at statechampsnetwork.com? Besides the latest signing and offers, Scott Bernstein and Matt Mowry are always busy ranking the top athletes in a variety of sports by class and position. They are all great reads and no paywall. It's all totally free. I'm Lauren Plants. We'll see you next week. State Champs Scout Show is proudly presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare.